So here it is, 89 Toyota Supra. I do have to replace that taillight. The housing is kind of faded. If you can, I don't know how well you can see that. The rims are Method 801 rallies on a 235 square all the way around. I would like to get bigger tires. They're kind of like a green color. I don't know if it's a color that they used to have, but they don't anymore. But the closest color I can think of would be bronze. But I don't think those are bronze wheels. They don't look bronze at all to me, unless they were, and they've been on the car for several years and they're just faded. I did change the marker lights and blinkers a while back from their yellow housings and just replaced them with the clear. I think it makes the car look a lot nicer. And here is the stock 7M GTE. I did, when I bought the car, this placard is just saying that the AC was changed from R12, I think it is, to the, whatever they have now. Is it 54? I think for the refrigerant for the AC. AC does not work very well in the summertime, and for one reason, and that is this big back window. So when the sun's beating and it's 90 plus degrees outside, if you're sitting in the shade, you can be cool all day long in this car. All day long. By the way, that sub is not hooked up. I'm just driving it around for some reason. Haven't taken it out yet. It doesn't work. But yeah, you can sit in this car all day long. Let me give you a shot of the interior here. You can sit in this car all day long and be nice and cool when it's sunny out. Let me move this. Sit in the car, be nice and cool all day, as long as you're in the shade. If you're in the sun, that back window really sucks, because all the sun beats in, and it starts to heat everything up. Oh, my hood's closing itself. Awesome. You just make sure that closed. Holy crap, it actually did. It actually latched. Let me just double check, though. But anyway, you can be cool in this car all day long, as long as you're sitting in the shade. But once you get out in the sun and it starts beating down on that back window, then you're kind of screwed. There is just way too much surface area for the AC to keep up when it's super hot and really humid. But yeah, interior is really clean. So with that back window, going back to that just a second, I will be tinting this car at some point. Hopefully in the near future. Probably around springtime while it's still nice. But let me turn those off real quick. It is a 5-speed. I believe it's the R154 Trans. This interior is not perfect. If you look down here between my crotch, I do have a couple of burn spots from cigarettes from one of the previous owners. And I will make a video detailing everything at a later date. And then there's one here in the back seat. Cloth seats, which I don't mind. Leather can be kind of a pain, so I don't really mind the cloth too much. I might change that out every once, maybe someday. But just these 3 major blemishes in the interior, and it's pretty much spotless. The card for that is in the glove box. There aren't, the clips on it are broke, and it's really hard to find brown interior pieces for this car. There's a bunch of gray, and it's just finding interior pieces for this car, especially with this interior color, is horrible. These, I don't know if you'll be able to tell. Let me actually get out. Seatbelt holders, I don't know if you can actually tell right here, but they were gray, and then my dad and I just painted them. And I do have the originals still. However, they're broke. The little the guide rail right here on the outside is busted off on both of them. I believe. Yeah, on both of them. So we just kind of replaced them with gray and then found some paint and painted them to match this darker color. And I think it ties everything pretty well together. The sunshade wrap back here, it needs some work. I will probably, hopefully, have that rewrapped in vinyl and looking nice at some point. I have no idea when, though. But other than that, this interior is really clean. Super nice. Floor mats do need cleaned. Try to turn the wheel here. Runs good. Man, that brake light's bright. Let me turn this on here. 72,717 miles on the clock. All original. Aftermarket radio. Works pretty well. The sub I had in the back seat was hooked up. However, it was an older one that I got for cheap. And it no longer works because of it being so old. So I need to get a new one of those, and I probably need to change the speakers because the sound system in this sounds horribly tinny. I'm pretty sure these are still the stock speakers from '89, which 30-year-old speakers probably don't sound the best in 2020. But runs good. Everything is practically stock. Get out, show you around the car now that the lights are on. And now that the sun is set. Wind's kind of died down now a little bit. I have a light coming on here for me, but it looks great. I mean, it needs washed, obviously. There's still, you can see there's still snow here, so I'm probably not going to wash it until it's all melted and I don't have to worry about the roads being wet and spraying everything. I do park this car during the wintertime and keep it in a garage with a car cover and then get it back out in the springtime when it starts warming up. I prefer also not to take it out when it's raining, just for the simple fact that with this car, I bought it, it didn't have any rust on it. When we looked at it from a lift before I bought it, it didn't have any rust on it. And I would like to keep it that way, so I park it for the wintertime and try to keep the water off of it as much as possible until I can get it parked or sprayed or protective coated and make sure that it's good and I start building the car to the specs that I want. Then we can do that. So I have a lot of work to do to this car. I have a lot of work to do to this car. A lot. I have big plans, big ambitions. Just right now, not a lot of time with work. 45-hour work weeks. And sometimes when we're really busy, it goes up to 50, even 56. So not a whole lot of time right now. I will be making videos on this as much as possible. Now that spring is upon us, thank God. Groundhog Day is tomorrow. I don't really go by what an animal says what winter is going to be like, but so far we haven't gotten too much snow, and I hope that stays, because I love driving this car way too much for that. With it being a manual, it's right now the only manual that I have, and sometimes I crave driving this car. And for me, it really sucks because I can't always drive it, especially during the wintertime. And every now and then you get that craving, and then you look outside and it's snowing and it's icy, and then you realize it's like, I don't want to take it out. It's too risky. With being snow, slick, this being a rear-wheel drive car, it's got summer tires on it. Don't really trust those in the wintertime at all.